A boy who wanted to be a Cinderella. Chapter 10. The Blessing. A ceremony was held in the castle, attended only by the king, queen, and Ivo's extended family. Though Erwin and Ivo had wished for an intimate celebration, the news spread quickly. The king, unable to resist the opportunity, used the occasion to promote himself as a progressive and open-minded ruler. Despite the kingdom's newfound acceptance, there were still murmurs of uncertainty. Many had never imagined a prince marrying a prince. But love had already won. Before the ceremony began, a servant stepped forward, carrying a beautifully crafted shoe atop a silk cushion. Gasps rippled through the small gathering as curious eyes turned toward it. Erwin smiled, his gaze warm as he turned to Ivo. "I know your dream has always been to be like Cinderella," he said softly. "To fulfill that wish, I had these special shoes made for you as a symbol of love. As your husband, I will always stand by you, through thick and thin." Ivo gasped. "A shoe? For me?" His face lit up with joy. Then, a whisper. A voice, soft yet familiar, brushed against Ivo's ear. "Do you remember me?" A sudden blue neon light filled the air. From the glow emerged a figure. Not small, no longer a fairy. A full-grown man stood before them, his presence ethereal and radiant. Gasps filled the room. The blue fairy had transformed into his true form. With a warm smile, he turned to Ivo and Erwin. "Congratulations," he said, his voice deep and kind. "You have shown the world what true love is." Ivo's eyes widened in disbelief. "But I thought I failed the test." The blue fairy chuckled. "No, my dear. I told you that you had one last test, but what I didn't tell you was that the test wouldn't come from me." He turned to Erwin. "The final test had to come from someone else. From someone who had to be true to himself, too." Ivo's breath hitched. "You mean?" The blue fairy nodded. "Yes, Ivo. Because true love isn't something I could give you. Only someone who truly loves you, someone willing to share a future with you despite the risks, could change your fate. And that person was Erwin." Ivo's heart pounded as the fairy continued. "All along, it was the two of you who shaped your own destiny. I was only here to give you a gentle nudge." Suddenly, Erwin's expression changed. His eyes filled with recognition. "You visited me when I was a child, but only in my dreams." Erwin paused, his voice barely above a whisper. "But why?" The blue fairy nodded. "Yes, I was there to check on you." He looked at Erwin with knowing eyes. "I knew you were different from a young age, but unlike Ivo, you never believed you could change your fate. You were a prince, bound by duty, by responsibility, by the weight of the kingdom's expectations. You thought that this," he gestured between Erwin and Ivo, "could never be possible." The room was silent. Unlike Ivo, who dreamed of rewriting his story, you never let yourself hope. You buried it, believing the kingdom's reputation mattered more than your own happiness. Erwin swallowed hard. The blue fairy's voice softened. The blue fairy turned to the king. "I know you have always loved your son. Your need to protect him came from fear. Fear that he would be teased, laughed at, and looked down upon. I know this has not been easy for you, which is why you have always been tough on him." The king remained silent, his expression unreadable. Your heart ached, because you knew what he was going through, yet you never expressed it. But deep down, you have always loved him. The king's gaze wavered, his hands trembling slightly at his sides. The blue fairy's voice softened. "By choosing to be brave, your son has freed you from the weight of that responsibility. He has given you something greater. He has shown the kingdom who you truly are. And because of his courage, people now see you differently. They no longer fear you. They respect you." The king swallowed hard, his eyes shining with unshed tears. "You have gained the admiration of the younger generation, not because you commanded it, but because you allowed it. And that, your majesty, is your reward." The blue fairy stepped closer, meeting the king's gaze. "Sometimes, the greatest act of love is letting people walk their own path, not the one you have laid out for them." The king slowly exhaled, the weight of years lifting from his shoulders. For the first time, he truly saw his son, not as a prince, not as his heir, but as the man he had always been meant to be. The king, trying to hold back his tears, lowered his head. Then, as he lifted his gaze, his eyes met Erwin's. For the first time in their lives, father and son truly saw each other. Their eyes locked, not with duty, not with expectation, but with love and appreciation. The fairy continued, his voice carrying a divine resonance. The king, overcome with emotion, nodded in acceptance. Beside him, the queen gently held his hand, a silent sign of unity. And with that, the blue fairy vanished into the light, his blessing forever sealed into the heart of the kingdom. Ivo and Erwin stood in the center of the room, hands clasped together, their hearts pounding. The day they had longed for, dreamed of, fought for, had finally arrived. With deep gratitude in their hearts, they made a silent promise to each other to stand side by side, no matter what lay ahead. Because their journey was never just about love. It was about truth. It was about courage. And it was about staying true to who they were, no matter what the world said. And so, with the kingdom's blessing, with love on their side, Ivo and Erwin stepped forward, together, not just as two men in love, but as two souls who had finally found their home in each other. The end.